Alright, what's up y'all, Ticker Fan here. As we're about to title today's video, we have the 2K25 builder information that just dropped today, and as much as I am a little bit displeased with the fact that it looks a lot like the same builder from 24 into 25, there's a lot of intricate details and stuff like that that really, the small things add up with these notes and with this information that's dropped. So I'm here to break this all down for you guys, and I hope you do enjoy. If you feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all good stuff, and like always, try to 1,000 likes. Alright, so I kind of trimmed down all the information into one small space for you guys, so if you guys want to read this over and just be able to understand that this is what you're going to get going into the game, and that's all you need to take from this video, I appreciate you for watching, but we are going to break it down a little bit more extensively piece by piece. So let's just go over all of these and we'll come back to it in that order, but I just want to kind of run down for you everything that was in this trailer. So we have a revamp of physicals. Agility is now replacing acceleration, and there was no stamina on the attributes as far as the physicals go. Rebounding was in its own category. It is separated from the defensive category, so it's no longer red, it's a purple color. Animation unlocks were shown in the builder, so when you're creating a build, you're going to actually be able to see the animation unlocks as you're building it. New takeovers, so really weird, interesting kind of perspective on this. There's like 70-something takeovers, as you can see in this tab right here, and it's level-based. So there's like a level 1, level 2, level 3, 4, and 5 for the takeovers, and at level 5, I think it also unlocks like an extra takeover at the same time. So we'll get over to that in the courtside report in just a second here. Rating requirements for takeovers to be unlocked, so no longer that BS from last year. I'm so glad they ditched that and realized it was a terrible idea. Being able to just pop Sharp Take whenever you want with whatever build with no rating requirements at all, I think it was kind of ridiculous, and the fact that Sharp Take just coexist with all things to do with sharpshooting takeover and shot creating takeover. I love that it's more specialized, and I also love that you actually need rating requirements to unlock those takeovers. So we have that. A whole new tier of badges is in the video as well. There's a legend tier, so it's red, and it's like a 5th tier of badge level. It's kind of crazy. So they mentioned 40 badges, only 40 of them. That's kind of interesting. I've done tier lists and stuff like that in the past, and it's been a lot more along the lines of like upper 50s into the 60s sometimes as well. So they've trimmed down the amount of badges, and that comes a lot to do with like things to do with layups and stuff like that, all being tied into kind of the same badge more so. But we'll get to that in a second. It'll actually be one of the first things we talk about is all the badges and the new ones and stuff like that. But anyway, badge progression is still based on how much you use the badge, and they said that if you don't use it much, it still won't go up, same as always that it was in the past, but regression is removed, so no more badge regression or anything like that. Mycaeer is back, and now I got one more thing to show you as well. So I kind of did a second one, and this is going to be a little bit smaller. It's a little bit more expanded because it's vertical, but you can see we left off with the Mycaeer one. I have 3 more notes that I added afterwards, and you can see badge perks actually have a competitive advantage. It's actually kind of fire. You can raise your maximum level of the badge past what it's even capable of doing. Again, we'll get into the courtside report in just a second. Floor setters are back, and they're kind of renovated, so they're called badge elevators now, but they've been buffed. So in the way that floor setters used to work, you would pretty much put the badge from like bronze up to gold. Now it can go all the way to Hall of Fame and stuff like that, so it can go up like 3 levels. We'll get to that in a second too again. And cap breakers, huge info. This is the best information of everything that we've seen so far. Again, we'll get into that in just a second, but I actually do want to spoil this one for you guys. We don't have to get to the builder info. I'm gonna just tell you straight up here. It would appear that you can surpass your attribute rating threshold and get animations that are past that cap. So if you had like a 6'6" build that maxed out at 85 ball handle but needed to get to 90, apparently you can go up +5 on the cap breakers and go +5 on your attributes and still get the animations that are tied into that as well with those ratings that you get. So if there was an animation that you needed at 90, you can go all the way from 85 to 90, and I'm assuming that's going to be a little bit more of a grind, for sure. It's not going to be something you get right away, but those being available to you is so cool. I think that's gonna be a really cool addition for this year. So this is all the things that we recapped over this, but there's gonna be still some stuff that I want to go over with the courtside report with you guys. I got one more thing I also want to show you though too. So I put out this tweet because I was just kind of comparing. I was in the builder of 24 compared to what we saw in 2K25. So this is the build in 25 that they displayed. It's a 6'2" with 185 or 184 on the weight and a 6'9" wingspan. I replicated those exact same height, weight, wingspan into our 24 builder, and you're gonna see I wasn't able to get anything into the defense or anything like that, or the physicals at all. Everything that I was able to upgrade was only to the point of speed with ball. So I was able to replicate the close shot, driving lay, driving dunk, standing dunk, post control, yada yada, all the way into the mid-range, 3-pointer, stuff like that. I guess I actually didn't like entirely replicate the free throw, which even still shows that there's more attribute points because you actually have a free throw on this. And on top of that, as you can see, 82 pass hack with the 98 ball handle and 94 speed ball. I couldn't even afford 94 speed ball. It was only 93 here. So long story short, there are more attribute caps in 2K25 compared to 24. Because as you can see, you have a little bit more primity, way more steel. You still have more acceleration, vertical, stuff like that. I wasn't even able to upgrade the stamina. And granted, like I told you guys earlier in the video here, there really is no stamina in this builder anyway. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure that's in the courtside report too. And they were saying that everybody gets a base of 85 stamina. We'll find that in just a second. But I definitely did my research on this stuff. I didn't want to put out a video of me like straight up first time reacting to this stuff, I wanted to actually read it over a good bit. And granted, it's only about 30 minutes since we saw it, but I've been really diligently looking at this stuff. So anyway, like I said, more defense was allowed on this build. Again, that may just be based on the height, because in 2K24 we had like certain attributes were more affordable based on each height. Like a 6'3" could afford dunk more than a 6'4" could, and weird stuff like that. So I'm not here to say that overall in the game there's gonna be way more attribute caps for every height, but at least comparing it from 6'2" to 6'2", between 24 to 25, there is more attribute like points to be spent in 25 for sure. Because again, like speed, excel, all that stuff, the vertical's higher, the prim D and the steal are both, I would even say the steal is significantly higher. I went from 25 to 71, and you're able to afford all this stuff and one more speed ball, which does add up when you're in those high thresholds. So I don't know why they're making a 6'2" with 82 3-pointer, but either way, it is what it is. Let's get to the courtside report stuff now. All right, so I wanted to start us off in the badges. So there aren't a lot that are like brand new. There's gonna be stuff that was renamed and revamped. Like for instance, they have stuff like, I think Paint Prodigy was actually a new one. So you can, and matter of fact, let me zoom this in one more. Hopefully it won't take the whole thing away. Okay, yeah, I think, you know what, that'll be good. That'll be good. We don't have to look at them all at the same time. I just want you guys to be able to read this more doably. So this was a little bit of a new badge. It might be more like fast twitch, essentially. Yeah, I think it is. Improves a player to quickly and efficiently score while going to work in the paint. Okay, so never mind. A lot of these things have been renamed. We have physical finisher. We got post powerhouse. You can, like, if you use your context clues, you'd be like, oh, well, this is back down punisher. This is, you know, fearless finisher. Actually, I don't even know if that's a fact. Okay, yeah, finish through contact, yada yada, convert contested layups, yada yada. You guys get what I'm saying. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that is like just renamed badges, and you know, I don't even blame them for that. At the end of the day, you eventually do kind of just run out of, you know, badge revamps that you can do, and I understand why you'd want to rename some stuff. You know, it gives a little new flair to the game. So things like versatile visionary, it's like, you know, needle threader plus special delivery combined. You got strong handlers, physical handles. You got lightning launches, quick first step. So not a lot of new badges, if you get what I'm saying. It's looking like on-ball menace was changed from clamps to this right here, so hounds and bodies up while defending on the perimeter, you know, easy, simple stuff like that. So not a lot of new badges per se, you know, not a lot of stuff here has really been kind of a whole crazy, like, you know, revamp to the game. However, we do have one that's called Mini Marksman right here, so this is a, you know, kind of a revive to a badge that was in 2K23 and I think 22 as well, and actually it might not even been 23. I think it was just 22. Anyway, this is pretty much just being able to shoot over, you know, taller defenders. And this is Mismatch Expert, which was a broken badge back in the day and really gave life to smaller guards. And I'm definitely intrigued to see how this works, because with the fact that we have, like, you know, legend badges now, a tier 5 of a badge is kind of crazy. So we'll have to see. I mean, obviously things like that, like being a specialist in that sense of having something that's gonna be a tier 5 badge is kind of ridiculous. That's gonna be a really crazy addition. So anyway, let me go ahead and talk about some of the stuff that we've been, you know, essentially talking about a little bit. So we got the badge perks. We have a max +1. This is one I was talking about earlier in the notes. Boost a badge 1 level above its max potential. You must progress a badge to its max potential before equipping this perk. These are unlocked at level 15, you know, a tier 2 badge, and then in level 30, a tier 1 badge in each season. So badges will still be in different tiers based on probably your build and your height and stuff like that, yada yada. You get how that usually goes. But being able to +1 the maximum level of a badge, that is so clean. I mean, just the fact that you can unlock things through the season that actually matter again, because I'm gonna be real with you guys, the floor setters, that is all BS. I mean, as cool as it is to be able to just instantly get a badge up to a certain level, and that's still in the game for that matter, but it wasn't such a deal breaker. It's not something that actually enhances your play. It's just, it saves you some time and saves you the grind of like new builds and stuff like that. I mean, don't be wrong, I'm glad to have those like 7 gold floor setters and 7 silver floor setters when I'm making a new build in, like, you know, February and March and stuff like that, but it's not competitively boosting. This max +1 is actually pretty cool. You got things like participation. It's just a flat based amount of progression each game, regardless of how many times they are activated. It's just, you know, simple stuff that's not super crazy. Synergy is you and your teammates both have a badge equipped, and like when they get progression, you get progression. So it's gonna be teammate based. So if you have like homies that you play the game with, synergy is gonna be, you know, actually usable in that sense. Past that, a lot of these are the same as last year. So we got Up for the Challenge, Grade A Student, Winner Circle. If you were, like, for instance, in last year's game, if you played a ton of Pro-Am or a ton of Park or something like that, it would give you these performance multipliers, and it appears to still be the exact same thing in that regard. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to do it based in the game modes as well. I don't think they're saying it here or not, but either way, you get what I'm saying. It's probably the same thing. Badge elevators is the same thing as floor setters, so it's going to be pretty simple in that regard. As you can see, though, I did say they got buffed, so somewhere in here, let me find it and I'm gonna cut back to this. All right, yeah, so if your badge is currently a bronze but has a max potential of legend, it can immediately be boosted up 3 levels from bronze to silver to gold to Hall of Fame. So I guess you can't unlock the legend tier of the badge through the floor setters, aka the badge elevators, but for it to be able to go to Hall of Fame is definitely a buff. I guess with the fact that they're adding a whole new badge level, it's kind of the same thing as putting something to gold instantly, but if you think of it, I mean, you guys know fractions. Technically, being 4/5 of the way is better than being 3/4 of the way. That's just how math works, you know? But anyway, long story short, those are still back in the game. Now, cap breakers, that's the cool thing that we're here to talk about as well. So this essentially, and if we can, yeah, okay, so we'll go to the example part of it. So let's say your ball handle attribute is maxed out at 85. You can apply 2 cap breakers to play with an 87 ball handle rating, and also unlock access to animations, badges, or takeovers that require an 87 ball handle. And now, as you can see right here too, each attribute cap can increase a maximum of +5 above its cap. That is so cool, bro. We've been asking for this for so long, and granted, it's almost more of an expectation out of 2K rather than like me being very appreciative of it. Granted, I am for sure, but this is something that they needed to follow through on to actually get some hype to this game of the pregame stuff like that. Because I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the biggest piece of news that I've seen in this, other than also the fact that you can put your badges 1 level past their cap as well. And I don't know how many of those we're gonna get. I don't know how attainable these, you know, attribute caps or cap breakers are going to be, but the fact that you can get them through the rep rewards. Okay, actually, they just answered my question right here. So there's a total of 15 cap breakers available to earn through the rep rewards. More on rep affiliations in the city in a few weeks. So that's gonna be cool. I'm very curious to see if we're gonna be able to get like the affiliation perks and stuff like that again, like heat check and 2-way tenacity. I'm definitely intrigued as far as that goes. But that's as far as the builder news goes. I want to maybe talk in another video about a more detailed look on these attribute caps. Also, actually, I needed to talk one more thing about the takeovers. So as you can see, I was talking earlier about the takeovers having levels to it. So for instance, you have level 1, level 2, level 3, 4, and 5. Now it does appear, I don't think I can pause this, I think it's just a GIF, but you can see that the requirements are going up as you go through each level of the takeover, and then at level 5 it unlocks deep post bag. So I'm assuming that this takeover ability is, you know, what you're trying to, because I don't believe it's what you're trying to equip here. It looks like they're having barbecue chicken activated right here. So I don't know why that ties in with deep post bag, or if you maybe unlock new things and you can eventually change this from deep post bag to something else. But as you can see, like the requirements for the deep post bag are going up here, and I guess barbecue chicken is more of a post up takeover. Let's try and find. I don't know if I can find anything specific on the new takeovers or anything like that, but I guess I'm pretty sure they detailed the barbecue chicken somewhere in here. I'll find that real quick. All right, so I just blabbed for like 6 minutes without doing any looking into the actual takeover details right here. So now that I did a little bit more actual research on this and actually know what I'm talking about, let's talk about it. So every individual takeover would appear that it's giving you attribute boosts. I wasn't really aware of that right away. So with each level, you're getting your attribute boost. And then when you eventually get to your level 5, it will give you an equipped kind of thing. So let's just talk about the barbecue chicken one. So barbecue chicken, I was under the impression this is more like a Shaq thing, right? Saying someone's too little, or like that's easy, you know? But I guess they're talking about knows that it means you know you're about to cook your defender and serve up a highlight. I don't know. I don't think dominating someone posts as a highlight, but anyway. As your takeover meter rises, your post game becomes stronger. The takeover ability it comes with is deep post bag, which temporarily and greatly enhances all things post, from backdowns to post moves and post shots. So, again, with each level of the takeover that you're getting between level 1, level 2, level 3, 4, and 5, you're getting attribute boost. It looks like the level 1 is +2, another +1, +1, +2, and +1. So it looks like 1, 3, and 4. I don't know if these are going to be exclusive to how this works, but it looks like 1 and 4. That's it. 1 and 4 are giving you +2s. Everything else is giving you +1. Okay, so what I was meaning to say is going from 0 to 1 gives you +2, going from 1 to 2 gives you +1, going from 2 to 3 gives you +1, and then going from 3 to 4 gives you +2. So again, I don't know if that's individual to just this takeover. I don't know if that's how it's going to be, but as you can see, a +7 when you reach level 5. I'm guessing that's how it's going to work, and it just so happens to be that those are entangled with a certain set of attributes. So I'm sure we're all going to find our own specialist thing that we want to look for. Like, for instance, slashers. You know me, I'm definitely looking for something that boosts your driving dunk and maybe standing dunk even as well. Or if you can find a combo of that, it'd be really cool. So to draw some comparisons for you guys, if you've been playing college football and done any of the recruiting and stuff like that, when you're hard selling someone on a pitch, you have a lot of different things that are being randomly assorted between like all the things that you can sell someone on. And sometimes your team's grades are higher in some categories, but the pitches only give you a couple of things to pick from. So what it looks like with this is, with barbecue chicken, if you're looking for something that strictly boosts your post control and strength, you're looking at the right duo. But there might be another takeover for the post scores and stuff like that maybe deals with post control and mid range rather than the strength. You know what I mean? So you're probably looking at something like that. Again, for me, I'm looking for a combo of standing dunk and driving dunk, but it just may so happen that some of them have a boost to your driving dunk and driving layup rather than the standing dunk, you know? So there will be probably many different varieties as far as that goes. As far as any other news that I had for you guys, I'm just looking through this, skimming again. You know, we talked about the cap breakers, the floor setters, aka the badge elevators, perks actually having a competitive advantage. Let's go back to the Twitter little note that I had real quick. All right, yeah, so we mentioned, you know, the revamp to the attributes and stuff like that. Rebounding is separated. Animation unlocks are shown in the builder. I didn't actually show you that, but I don't know if there's really a good way to show you that other than I had it on the VOD of the YouTube video that they dropped, or like the whole stream on YouTube. But anyway, you don't really need to see that. It's kind of whatever. The new takeovers, obviously we just yapped about that for a while. Rating requirements for takeovers, you know, I actually don't think we showed that. Let me see if I can find that real quick. We'll do it at the end. But anyway, just wanted to go over the whole My Court is back thing, because that's actually a really big deal in my opinion, especially if the Pro-Am shoot around isn't really there. It's going to be nice to be able to actually lab up in your own area rather than me have to do it in the My League and stuff like that again and again and again. So anyway, let's go ahead and see if we can find where it shows the rating requirements to unlock takeovers. Okay, so in here I actually found where you can show your playmaking moves and stuff like that, and the scoring moves all being unlocked as you're creating the build. So there will be a separate tab where you can see your animations. I know with the YouTube, overlays and stuff like that, it's kind of hard to see, but you have your jump shot creator, dunk style creator, and the animations for the dribble moves and scoring moves and stuff like that. So that's all available to you in the builder. It's definitely convenient for a lot of you guys out there who, don't want to have to rely on people like me and 2K Labs and stuff like that to constantly have to, be like, hey, here are the requirements for your dunks and stuff like that. Make sure you have the vertical that also goes with your driving dunk requirement. You're gonna be able to actually see that yourself now. So I'm sure we'll actually still do that, but you're gonna be able to see it in there. So anyway, takeover requirements. Let me see if I can find that again real quick. All right, boys, I was skimming through here. I can't find it. So just know there will be requirements to you actually putting your takeovers on. I just wanted to be able to get the video out somewhat quickly compared to, all the other competition, if you will, with the 2K community and stuff like that. But I don't look at it that way too much. It's just obviously we want to get the video out pretty quickly so that the interest doesn't fade and you guys don't just see the same video recycled 15 times. But I am pretty confident. Let me just talk about this for a second. I am pretty confident in the fact that I do put out some more detailed, actually kind of overview on stuff like this, and I'm actually very satisfied with how this video went as well. So we'll get that out pretty soon. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you did enjoy and made it all the way through the end of the video, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on noties, all that good stuff. And if you did make it to the end, put 25 in the comments, short sports my way through. I appreciate you guys for watching. Again, we'll probably go over a more detailed kind of look at the fact that there's a lot to still break down of how little we have on the builder, but I could still decipher a lot of badge kind of thresholds and stuff like that through what they have shown us. Maybe we'll get a little bit more info, maybe we won't, but either way, I appreciate you guys for watching, and definitely stay tuned. We'll have more videos for sure, but this went over a lot of the new info, 100%. So anyway, that's all for the video. Hope you all enjoyed, and that takes me. Peace.